No, your eyes are not deceiving you. Yes, that is the xTool O1 Omni UV Printer. This is the dual UV version that I've been sent. And as you can see, it's currently working on something pretty amazing. This isn't a review video today. This is just me giving you a good insight into what this thing can do. I know today is the day that you can now put a deposit down for this machine, so I wanted to release this video. As soon as xTool gave the go ahead, I was straight in here recording this. If you're looking to get it and you want to learn more before you commit your money, then stay tuned because I'm going to be showing you a couple of projects. We're going to be taking you through a quick run around the machine, giving you some basic dimensions, giving you a little extra look into this before we do the detailed stuff in the time to come. So you can place your deposit right now. So look in that description if you want to support my channel and go through my affiliate link. But let's move on and let me show you what this thing can do. So here she blows. We've got the dual version right here. I'm going to give you a very quick look at the ink configuration on this. So as you can see, you've got UV white, UVV, UVK, UVY, M, C, and then you've got your rigid white, your flexible white, fluorescent red, and fluorescent yellow. So that is our accompaniment of our inks. I'm going to start off with a slate coaster. I'm literally going to stick it onto this mat, and it is sticky. So once on there, it's pretty good. Once we've loaded it, we're going to press that button right there. It will then take it into the printer and prepare it for the next step. So one other thing I just wanted to talk about is this big plate here. The rear also has a removable door like that. And this basically shows you how far behind the machine you need. And I've got a tape measure. Let's just measure this out. I'm going to do it one-handed, so excuse my clumsiness. It might not be exact, and my tape measure is a bit bent. But based on what you can see there, you need approximately, probably safely say 40 centimeters or 16 inches, I think that is, clearance behind the machine, and it will be similar on the front. So yeah, you do need space on the left and the right to be able to use that plate. But if you are just using the small plate we've got loaded in there, obviously it stays within the inclines of the machine. Hidden away here, there is also a vent. This is the same vent size for the F1 and the F2, this one here, and it clips onto there or pushes onto there, and then you can extract any of the fumes out to wherever you want them. Okay, so this is going to look familiar to all of you. We are on the same xTool Studio interface that you all know, which is great news. And as you can see, we've got the UV printer connected. There are different modes, different materials, but in this case, we are just doing a short, sharp explanation and demonstration. So I am going to click the scan button. What it will do now is it will move the bed under the camera and take a picture. So once it finishes, it will update, and as you can see there, what it does is it focuses on the top surface of your item, which is great. So we can see the top surface. One great thing that is built in is this thing called Smart Mask, and I really want to show you it today. If we run the extraction, what it is going to do is analyze the image, and it's going to give you the area it deems as the printable area. So as you can see, look at that, absolutely amazing job. We click apply. And what's great now is if we import an image, and I've got this dog image, you'll see you can drag it and it literally will only show what is within that Smart Mask area. So in this case, I am literally going to fill this coaster out, why not, with this beautiful little dog here. So there we go, simple as that. We've got our image placed that quickly, ready to go. Now, in terms of what you can do, there are 3 parameter settings: flat, texture, and relief. And within flat, you have got a big list of ones we can go with. In this case, I am going to do white and color. And you can also specify how many whites, how many colors. I'll just keep this vanilla. I'll do 1 white, 1 color, and we'll see how it comes out. Once you're happy with that, you can change the edge type. I'm not going to do that. And if you click off and go and adjust, you can also adjust the precision, the type of ink, so flexible, rigid, or white, the feathering effect, and various other things. But we're happy with that. There is also the preview option. You can click and it will tell you, once you obviously put the type of material, it will give you an example. So if we click process, what it's going to do is it's going to give us a calculated time for this one, and it's 8 minutes and 42 seconds. And as you can see, it shows our ink levels as well. So let's click print. Now, one other thing I wanted to show you is if you try and print and it's not up to the right temperature, it gives you the option to preheat. I love that it does that. So I'm going to click preheat. We're going to wait. It says it can take up to 10 minutes, but in my experience, it doesn't. Once it's good to go, we'll click print and then we'll start. So just to show you, it says print head complete. That was way less than 10 minutes. I think it was about 1 minute 30. we'll hit the print button, and then behind me, it will literally start the print as we speak. Let's do this. So we have our print going here. As you can see, it's moving back and forth. Hopefully it's clear enough. There is an internal light, so it will put the white down first, and it's going on each pass. And this is obviously all real time, and then we'll come back once it's done its white layer and it moves on to the color layer. Now, for those of you wondering what kind of noise it makes, it's really not very loud at all. And in terms of actual smell, I mean, I haven't got the ventilation on the back there, but even without that, I can barely smell anything. There is a slight smell of UV inks, but I mean, I am in like a workshop here without extraction, and I would be perfectly comfortable working with that going and the smell. Well, to be honest with you, I am comfortable working with it. So as you can see, it is finishing up the color layer now. It's done the white first. It's looking really nice. Hopefully you can see that a little bit. But it's quite hard with the lighting in here. But we will take it out and have a little look. So here we go. We have our finished coaster, and let's take a little look at this. I mean, that looks incredible if you ask me. Hopefully the lighting does it justice. It's pretty much covered all the edges as well. You can see this wasn't flat. There are surface edges on it, and it has absolutely blown it out the park with this one. And what a cute little dog. Let's move on. Now, I want to do one example using the large plate. So what we're going to do is press that button there. It's going to come out. We're literally going to pop that off. And then on here, there are these little green lines there. The way you line it up is you basically line it up with the front of the machine there, and then it literally presses into place. Then we push that button again, and in it goes. We need something suitably sized, and this is pretty much the biggest thing I've got around. If you're not sure about the size, it's approximately 10 inches or 26 centimeters by 9 inches or 23 centimeters. So we're going to whack it in there again. I'm just going to put it like that so it sits flush. And as you can see, we have it on our surface, pretty much stuck because this is textured and sticky. Let's get it set up. So we've just finished the first one. We have now switched over, and I wanted to show you, when you switch over the base plate, you get a automatic message, standard base plate detected, switch automatically. I'm going to click switch, and then it gives us a new working area. So what we're going to do now, once again, is we're going to click that scan button, and it's going to take a minute or two, I think, to scan that full surface and give us our representation. So I thought I'd show you the scan this time. It's moving it up, and once it breaks the line of those lasers, as you see there, it then starts to position it, and it will move it backwards and forth, literally scanning it all, and it should give us a beautiful picture to get our design onto. So look at that, we've got our log, and it looks so clean and crisp. I mean, if we zoom in, look at the resolution on that. So I've got a really cool photo for this one, and what we're going to do, we're going to use that smart mask feature again because I just love it. It's such a good way of not having to draw around something. So we've clicked run extraction. It's going to assess our shape, and then any minute now, there you go. Look at that, that's perfect. I love it. You can see how excited this gets me, by the way. So there we go, and I've got a really nice image here of a tiger and its cub. This is high definition. I am pushing this now to try and get some seriously good finish on this. So we've got our image. I am going to go with flat mode here. We're going to do texture and relief mode in future videos, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that. I'm going to do white color and varnish. We're going to go one of each, and varnish type is going to be gloss, okay? So we could hit the preview button. We've done it before. We don't need to. Let's hit that process button. Let's see how long it's going to take, and then we'll get the finished results at the end. So it's ready to go. So this is 41 minutes. Remember, this is a huge piece of wood, and we are putting a lot of color down. We're putting white and gloss. So we're going on 3 full processes. So it will say also estimated cost. If we click on that, they probably haven't inputted the cost yet, so it won't tell you what this costs in terms of ink, but it might give us the actual amount. So here we go. It's showing it's going to use 0.6412 milliliters of color, 2.5813 milliliters of white. It's saying 0 varnish. Maybe that's not up to date just yet. Cost, obviously, once they have their prices set up, it will also show the cost there. But that is pretty much the breakdown of this one. Let's go. So here we go. Let's take a look at this finished item. I'm going to try and give you a good view of this. I mean, you can make up your own mind on this, but I mean, I really hope the vivid colors come through as much as what they are in person. Very clear. You can see the wood rings underneath it. Maybe I should put an extra white down next time. But this is all trial and error. And at the end of the day, that went from that to that, which in my opinion is absolutely incredible. So let's take one last look. We did this first on our coaster and it's looking really good. Then we moved on to the larger plate and we did a large item like that. So one other thing I did earlier, which I didn't show you the process, is I actually did a nice gloss logo onto a plug, directly onto it. And I mean, hopefully you can see that. It looks incredible, very crisp, very shiny. And then I had a go on a metal business card directly on, and this has got a matte gloss on it. And as you can see, it looks really cool. There are 4 items, 4 little tasters. But if you want to see more of this in action, then you need to subscribe to the channel because I've got some exciting things coming your way. So there you have it. You've seen it in action. You've seen a bit of the specs around it, the size, the footprint, what it can do. But like I said, this is just the beginning. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss that future content coming. And feel free to use the affiliate link to support the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon.